I've been debating on making this video for I don't even know how long. I think for the last month and a half, I believe. And I kind of don't want to talk about it, but I feel like I need to say it to get off my chest, right? Just so I can just move on. For those who are not aware, I am 22 years old. I've worked at Walmart for the last 4 years. It's gonna be 5 years this upcoming October. I've been doing YouTube for about maybe 10 years. You know, I have had multiple channels. Between this channel and my second channel, this is probably like maybe my third or fourth channel over the past, I don't even know, 12 years of me making content. This feeling, it's always in the back of my mind. It's been in the back of my mind for the past, I think, 2 years. I definitely feel like this is probably the lowest point I've felt in my life, for at least for right now. Mainly because, you know, I've been working at this job for 5 years. I got hired around COVID. You know, I was hired over the phone. Job was basically given to me on my lap, you know. I'm grateful for that, but you know, I, of course, you know, being 18 at the time, going from no money to having, you know, a stable income, you would think I would do a smart decision and just save my money over the last 4 or 5 years and just, you know, buy my car or buy my first apartment and just, you know, go on from there. I didn't do that because, you know, when you're 18, you know, you're going from having no money to, you know, having a check that was like $950, $960 every like 2 weeks, you know, having that hit your bank account. You know, it was like, shit, yeah, this is my money, you know. You can go blow a check on something stupid because, like, just because I can, right? Now that I'm 22, going on 23 this July, you know, I don't have that sudden urge anymore to go out and just splooge, mainly just due to the fact that I'm paying rent and shit now. So I basically have no money to be splooging on, like, expensive dumb shit. You know, the last thing I bought that was expensive was my sim racing rig. That was back around last July as a birthday gift to myself, you know. I went and bought myself the Moza R9, and I'm hoping the next year or so, you know, my next big, you know, adult purchase, or my first adult purchase, will be, you know, my vehicle. You know, that's one of the things I've been wanting to get for the longest time, was a car. I don't want to come off sound like I'm jealous or anything, but you know, it's a weird feeling watching, you know, everybody around you kind of move forward and you're still stagnant. Over the course of the last maybe 4 years, you know, I've seen, you know, close friends, you know, they move, they get their first car or their first apartment, you know, they're moving on with life, you know, probably starting a family, you know, traveling, and it feels like I'm still in the same spot. I'm still working the same job. I have no money. You know, again, I'm not trying to compare my life to anybody else. That's not what I want you to come from this video thinking. Alright, I'm not like that. But, you know, from my point of view, this is how it feels like from my perspective, right? You know, I didn't get my license until this year, mainly due to other reasons. You know, I wasn't really that motivated to get my license to begin with. You know, even though I like cars and stuff, which is kind of funny. I like cars. I didn't have my license until I was like 22. My main goal this year, or at least one of my main goals, is just get my car. Of course, you know, with life, it likes to throw you fucking curveballs every day. You know, so like my main objective right now is just get a car. You know, I feel like once I get my car, I feel like this feeling will go away. But, you know, life happens, you know, of course, everything's shit. Housing market's shit, rent is shit, the car market is shit. We have tariffs going on, stock markets are crashing left and right. You know, overall right now, being a young adult at the age of 22, it is a fucking nightmare. It's a struggle, I'm gonna say that, but the world keeps moving, gotta do what I gotta do, you know, hopefully get to where I want to be in life. I don't want this video to be overly too negative. I'm slowly getting my life in order. I'm slowly trying to build up everything, you know, build up my savings again, because I had about like maybe $5,000 in my savings 2 years ago. I definitely feel like it's mainly because I watched my savings just dry up over the course of like a year or so, mainly just due to the fact that my mom was out of a job for 2.5 months because, you know, she works for the district and they're off for summer vacation, and she didn't have any money coming in. So of course, you know, my savings took a giant hit. You know, I still feel it to this day. On top of having my rent increase, you know, I'm paying maybe $1,200-1,300 a month, and my monthly income is, I think, like maybe $1,800-1,900 a month. You can see that where most of my money is going is towards rent and bills. I'm slowly trying to get my savings back up. You know, that's one of my goals, was to, you know, get my money back up in the next 6 months, maybe buy my car, you know, and just see where that goes. Honestly, for the last like 2 months, I've been slowly getting into, you know, investing, you know, just putting my money in long-term investments, you know, cryptocurrency, you know, I'm trying to learn more about that currently. I'm just trying to find more ways to generate more income for me, Hence why I made my Redbubble shop. I basically been using Photoshop for like damn near almost the same time I've started YouTube, like basically almost like 10-15 years. So I'd rather just sit down and just design some stuff for an extra bit of cash and put that towards, you know, something else. That's probably what we'll be doing for the near future. So if you guys do want to support me, hit up my shop at redbubble.com/yexdesigns. And if anybody else is in a similar predicament as me, whether that's, you know, you feel like you're stagnant or, you know, you can't save money, just hold on. That's all I can say, man. Just hold on. If you can, try and limit your expenses. That's what I'm doing. You know, build up your credit. I'm doing that also. You know, I've just got my credit card recently, so for the next 6 months, I'm gonna try and build up my credit and, you know, go from there. But, you know, just keep going. The world sucks right now, but I'm praying that good times are coming very soon. So, you know, just hold on to that. Just keep going, keep grinding, keep your head down, and just focus on yourself, focus on getting to where you need to be, because that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 6 months to a year. Hence why I went back to making videos on this channel, because, you know, I really wanted to just do something different, you know. So hopefully this channel works out and my second channel works out, so, you know, I have something to look forward to. But anyway, that's enough from me. Sorry for this really negative ass video. I wasn't trying to make it this negative, but this was sitting on my mind for 2 months. I wanted to talk about this when I first came back to this channel. I figured I postponed it a little bit and just focus on making more lighthearted videos, and then the occasional like heartfelt moments and shit like this. I don't even know how to say it, but yeah, I'm not used to this, as you can tell. But anyway, hope you guys have a good day. My name's Yex, and I'll see you guys around.